Happy Wednesday, gang. Thanks for being here. Just wanted to show today, I want to take you through real quick. We're rocking and rolling here today. But what I want to talk to you about was, and first, I wanted to thank a lot of you that reached out and told me happy birthday yesterday. I had a great birthday. Actually took the day off, kind of. Has a chance just to go out and eat dinner and just get a little break from the day and kind of reset, rewind, and like I talked about on Monday, set up my plans for the day. But what I want to do today was take you through a quick little upper body strength workout and just show you some of the movements and exercise and explain some things that you can do as we're putting an exercise program together. So one of the things we talk about as I put an exercise program together, gang, there's different movements that we want to coordinate and put in place. So example is, I want to make sure I'm doing a push exercise a couple times a week. And as we talked about, when I'm doing my push exercise, think about all I'm doing is change the angle. So an overhead press would be a push-up would be a push, right? Anything that I'm doing pushing away from my body and then just changing the angles. And actually a dip on the side of a bench would be a push for the back of my arms. The pull is anything that I'm going to do pulling towards me. A row would be a pull. An overhead like lat pull would be a pull. A bent over row is going to be a pull, and we just start to change those angles, right? We're not going to do it today, but legs would be one of them. I'm going to show some things today with a hip hinge, because when I hip hinge, it's going to work through my lower back, my butt, and my hamstrings, right? So there's different movements, and I'll write this up. So look above or below. But there's different movements, basic movements that we want to do each day or twice. Think about if I work out 3 times a week, I want to add one of these in there. Or if I'm working out multiple times, like 4 or 5 times a week, I want to make sure at least I'm getting a push 2 times a week, a pull 2 times a week, legs 2 times a week, core work a couple times a week. So that's how we set up our program. First exercise I'm going to show today, gang, is what we call when we talk about that push, I'm going to do a horizontal push. And what I'm going to do here is I'm just using the bar to show an example. I can do this off of a countertop, a desktop. So as I change my angle, right, as I go from a wall push-up to a desk push-up, so like right here while we're doing our exercise, or to the floor, that movement as I add more weight to my upper body and shoulders is going to overload. We've got to add overload to the muscle to make it get stronger, right? And I'm talking about strength. So here's an example. Today I'm just going to show like one set of 10. If you're building up, if you see a workout where it says 3 sets of 10, and I have some people where that when we do our Climbers Club boot camp here, I'll put 3 sets of 10 down as a workout. They're like, oh, coach, I'm done. I'm like, you did 3 sets of 10. They'll be like, well, I did 30 of them. 1 set of 30 is completely different than 3 sets of 10, right? So if I can do 30, like example is if we're doing a chest press with dumbbells, they'll take 10 pounds and do 30 of them. I'm like, hey, if you can do 30 with 10 pounds, grab 20 pounds and just do 10. Their mentality is, well, I can't do 20 pounds. I'm like, well, you can do 20 pounds 10 times. You might not be able to do it 30 times, but you could probably do it 10 times, take a break for 30 to 45 seconds, do it again, because what we want to do is fatigue the muscle, and as we fatigue the muscle, it gets stronger, right? So what I want you to do, we're going to do our push-ups today. I'm just going to go 10. I'm doing it here on the bar. I want you to get along a wall. I want you to find a desktop, a tabletop, and change your angle. If you do it from the ground, great. Then from the ground, if you keep your body straight, or I can do it from my knees to change that lever. Reason I like to do it from a table or here is I can keep it locks in my core. So when I'm doing my push-up and coming all the way down and through, and we're doing 10 push-ups, there's 2, 3, 4, where you can see if I did this from my knees and short that lever arm, I'm not using as much core. Okay, so I like being in this position, going from a desktop, because I have to lock in. So I want to make sure when I'm doing this, I'm not doing one of these type of deals, and I'm not doing this also, gang. All that does is put a lot of stress into the shoulders. You can see my body's not moving with it and not adding any load. So find the angle that you can stay nice and tall, and I can push through, and I'm moving my whole body, and I'm moving the resistance of my body. I think that's 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Again, I'm just going to do one set. If you want to stop the tape, and let's say you want to do 3 sets of 10 of push-ups, I'm using a lot of body weight stuff. I got some dumbbells for my pulls because I think sometimes that's easier than trying to find a pull-up bar. I can take weights. So that was our horizontal push, right? I'm pushing myself away. Imagine if I'm on my back with dumbbells and I'm pushing the weight away. Everything I push away is going to be a push, right? Next one I'm going to go, I'm just taking my weights and I'm going to do a bent over row or a horizontal pull, okay? And we've talked about this with back work before. I've got to make sure my shoulder blades are coming back together. So what I'm going to do is just bend over and I'm pulling through. As I pull, I want to make sure I'm pulling my shoulder blades. I'll have a lot of folks when we do our bent over row in this position, they'll be up here doing this. That's more of an upright row and you're getting more shoulders in. If your scapula, my back's not squeezing and pulling together, I'm not getting back work in. So if I'm here doing this, I'm going to feel that more in my shoulders. My shoulder blades aren't moving at all, so I'm not getting any back work in. I want to make sure I'm bent over, I'm squeezing and pulling through. My shoulder blades are coming back together. There's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Okay? Again, depending on the weights you use. Remember, a gallon jug of water weighs 8 pounds. I got 10-pound dumbbells here, right? Pretty easy, but if you want to grab, if you don't have weights, you can find some type of resistance to add a little bit more load to that, okay? Now, so I did a push, I did a pull, right? Now I'm going to go to a vertical push. So I'm just literally, I'm doing my overhead press and same thing. So now I'm pressing away. Remember, we're talking about changing those angles, right? So I'm still doing a push away. I'm just changing the angle. So now instead of horizontal position, I'm going vertical. So now I'm going to get more shoulder work in than chest work in. So I'm just going to go 10 presses and I'm coming down where it feels comfortable. Remember, if you have any impingement on the shoulder, I come neutral position instead of bringing it out. Bringing it out to the side puts a little bit more strain on the shoulder. So if you have some shoulder issues, modify your hand placement, right? And we're just going to our shoulder press. 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Okay. So now we've got 2 pushes in. We got a pull in. Now I'm going to change this up a little bit and I am going to go to a hinge. Okay. So I'm going to work my back a little bit, but I want to still get mainly through my booty and my hamstrings. This is still, I consider this still upper body because you're going to feel this all the way through the backside chain, right? And I know a lot of times when we think upper body, this is what we think, gang, chest and shoulders, right? Remember when we talk about our core is from our chest down to our knees and all the way around our system. Same thing when we think upper body. What's going on with not just my upper back and my upper chest, what's going on with my lower back, what's going on with my core, okay? So what I'm going to do here is, I'm just going to do a good morning. I'm taking the weight across my chin and my chest. I'm going to push my booty back and then push my hips through and stand back up. So you're going to feel this in your lower back, right? The pulls we did upper back, this is going to get my lower back and through my booty and work that movement, pushing through. So this is just my good morning. Keeping my back flat. If I do this thing, if my shoulders roll, first thing that happens is I roll my shoulders. You're going to feel this at your thoracic spine, but also a lot of pressure in your lumbar spine. So I got to make sure my first movement is my shoulders rolling forward. It's my booty getting pushed back. And I'm going to finish up about 4 more of these. So I'm going to feel this in my lower back, my booty, and my hamstrings. And all those are connected and working together. I'll get a couple more in because I lost count. Okay. And so that's going to work upper back, lower back. I work my chest, upper body. Then the last couple things I'm going to do, gang, we're just going to go curls, right? So again, think when I'm doing this, this would be a pull type of an action, right? So I'm going to do my pulls, which are my curls, and I'm going to do 10 curls. Same thing, gang, this isn't a curl. If you watch my arm, look at from the elbow joint. The weight is moving, but my arm still stays at 90. I have to lock my elbow in, bring that weight down, straighten my arm out. Now I'm getting bicep work in. If I'm doing this, I'm getting front shoulder work in. If I do this, I'm getting front shoulder work and lower back in. That looks almost like a good morning to me, right? And a bad good morning, especially if I'm swinging my weights. So I have to have good control, right, to work the biceps. And then I'm going to do my push. I'm taking both of my weights, and I'm going to do an overhead extension. And now I am going to work the triceps, but I'm pushing away. I'm pushing the weights away, right? So this is a push. So I'm pushing the resistance away from my body, just like doing a chest press. I'm just changing that angle. I'm doing my pulls. I'm just changing my angle. So as you put a workout together, gang, so there's a whole workout. If I just do one set of that, or if I did 3 sets of that, push-ups, rows, press, hinge, curls. I got my total body. I got my chest in. I got my upper lower back in. I got my shoulders in. I got my arm work in. You're even going to get some forearm work on holding and getting the different things in position for a total upper body workout. And then I just modify that. Start off with 1 set of 10 to 15 reps, if that's easy. 2 sets of 10 to 15. When that gets easy, 3 sets of 10 to 15 reps. If you want to put more strength, get stronger, drop your reps down, get a little bit more rest. So if you want to do 3 sets of 8, you should be able to use more weight doing 8 than doing 15 reps. So bump your weight up. If you want to get strong, lift a little bit heavier and drop your reps a little bit from that 6 to 8 range, okay? If you want to get some strength endurance, it's that 10 to 15 range. If you really, really want to go endurance, more endurance, go lighter weight and think 20 to 25 reps, okay, as you set your program up. Hope this helps. Hope you can follow along with the program. Like I said, if you want to do 3 sets of something, just stop the video, get your sets in, then you come back and do your rows with me. Go just do your shoulder press. We'll get a whole upper body workout today. We'll get you rock and rolling and have you ready to go for 2026. Let's get it done.